students, today we are going to see unit number 3, natural resources, renewable and non-renewable resources, and from that unit number 3, topic number 2, land degradation. So if we see the definition of land degradation, it is the change in the characteristic and quality of soil which adversely affect its fertility is called as degradation, or land degradation is the temporary or permanent lowering of the productive capacity of land. It thus covers the various forms of soil degradation, adverse human impacts on water resources, deforestation and lowering of the productive capacity of the rangelands. What do you mean by land degradation? So, land degradation means the loss of natural fertility of soil because of loss of nutrients. Secondly, loss of vegetation cover. Then changes in the characteristics of soil, pollution of water resources from the contamination of soil through which water sweeps into ground or run off to the water bodies, changes in climatic conditions because of unbalance created in the environment. So all these are responsible for, or all these are meaning that there is a land degradation. What are the major causes of land degradation? Deforestation, soil erosion by wind or water, mining industrialization, unsustainable agricultural practices, and urban expansion are the major causes of land degradation. The first reason, that is the deforestation. Deforestation is the permanent removal of trees to make room for something besides forest. This can include clearing the land for agriculture or grazing, or using the timber for fuel, construction or manufacturing. In this image you can see all the plants, they are cutted there, okay, and now after removing or complete permanent removal of these trees, it will be made, and that area will take it will be built up for something another. Soil erosion by wind or water. Soil erosion is a process of moving soil by water or wind. When the soil particles are detached and transported to a different location, this is a natural process that has occurred for eons of time. Water, wind, ice and gravity are involved in moving soil material. In this image you can see how the soil it is detached, then it is transported, and then it is deposited somewhere another side. The rate of erosion may be very slow to very rapid depending on the soil, the local landscape and weather conditions. Water erosion wears away the earth's surface. Wind erosion is the detachment, transportation and redeposition of the soil particle by wind. So here in this image you can see how the soil it is detached, transported and deposited to the another side, and here you can see the wind is flowing too fast, okay, the water it is flowing too fast, and due to this fast flowing water, here the soil will also move from one place to another place. The third reason, that is the industrialization. Industrialization is one of the major cause of deforestation. Hundreds of forests have been destroyed in the name of industrialization. Roads are built on the forest land which covers even more space and become one of the main cause of deforestation. Most of the industries, they are situated where there were many plants, and that plants were cutted off, and then that industries has been established. So here you can see how the industry, it is polluting the environment, and the forest which was here, now it is not there. In place of that forest, here there is an industry. Urban expansion, that is the urbanization or urban expansion, it refers to the population shift from rural to urban areas. The decrease in the proportion of people living in rural areas and the ways in which societies adapt to this change. It is predominantly the process by which towns and cities are formed and become larger as more people begin living and working in the central areas. Here also you can see the urban expansion is also responsible for the deforestation or the land degradation. Most of the important reason is the unsustainable agricultural practices. Unsustainable agricultural practices are inadequate or inappropriate policies which include pricing, subsidy and tax policies. This encouraged the excessive and often uneconomic use of inputs such as fertilizer and pesticide and the over-exploitation of land. The first unsustainable agricultural practice is the overgrazing of the pasture land. Overgrazing arises as a result of having too many animals grazing on a piece of land without proper control of the grazing activity of the animals. The failure to rotate animals in harmony with pasture growth is what constitutes overgrazing. It results into reduced growth of vegetation, reduced diversity of plant species, excessive growth of unwanted plant species, soil erosion and degradation of land due to cattle movement. The second unsustainable agricultural practice is the over-cultivation of cropland and monocropping. Cultivation of cropland and monocropping is usually associated with high level of mechanization which can compact the soil, leaving the land bare between the harvest and planting, both of which increases potential for soil erosion and continuous loss of nutrients with application of large quantities of the fertilizer. In this image you can see the monocropping. Only a single type of crop it has been, you can see here in this image that the only one type of plant it is there, that is the monocropping. The third unsustainable agricultural practice is the waterlogging and salinization of irrigated land. Waterlogging is often accompanied by soil salinity, as waterlogged soils prevent leaching of the salts imported by the irrigation water. Salts are a major water quality factor in choosing disposal option for subsurface drainage in arid irrigated areas. The fourth practice is the over-extraction of wells, rivers and dams. Water extraction is the process of taking water from any source, either temporarily or permanently, for flood control or to obtain water, for example for irrigation. The over-extraction of water can lead to dry rivers or declining groundwater levels. The most important unsustainable agricultural practice is the excessive and continuous use of the fertilizer. It may be herbicide or pesticide. The overuse of chemical fertilizer can lead to soil acidification because of a decrease in organic matter in the soil. Nitrogen applied to fields in large amounts over time damages topsoil, resulting in reduced crop yield. What are the effects of all these on the land degradation? So, decline in the chemical, physical or biological properties of soil. All these factors which we studied before, all they affect the soil. The physical, chemical and biological properties of soil are affected. Reduced availability of potable water, lessened volume of surface water, impacts on livestock and agriculture. Example, loss of animals due to dehydration and reduced yields. Decline in the productivity, water and food insecurity, and the most important is the biodiversity loss. How we can conserve the soil? So different conservative measures are used for conservation of soil. So first is the strip farming. It is a practice in which the cultivated crops are sown in alternative strips to prevent water movement. In this image you can see how the alternative strips they are there sown, that it will prevent the loss of water as well as the soil. The second conservative measure is the crop rotation. It is one of the agricultural practice in which different crops are grown in same area following a rotation system which helps in the replenishment of the soil. So here the crops they are sown or grown in the same area following the rotation. Means what? This crop will be grown first, after that this, again this, again this. Okay, so in the rotation manner there is the crops they will be grown to help or to prevent the loss of soil. The third important measure, that is the ridge and furrow formation. Soil erosion is one of the factor responsible for land degradation. So it can be prevented by formation of ridge and furrow during irrigation, which lessens runoff. So in this image you can see the ridges, okay, and the furrows which are made, so it will prevent the loss of soil along with water. Contour farming. This type of farming is usually practiced across the hillside and is useful in collecting and diverting the runoff to avoid erosion. See here in this you can see this portion is quite upper side, okay, and this is quite down. So in this type of farming is known as a contour farming, and this type of farming it is done along the hillsides. For what purpose? To prevent the runoff or to avoid the erosion of soil. We can apply the sustainable land management. The term sustainable land management can be used to describe the utilization of terrestrial resources like soil, plant, water, etc. for the production of goods to satisfy changing human needs without detriment to the long-term productive potential of these. The use of climate information must be applied in developing sustainable practices. There is need to apply sustainable land management practices in field for conservation of land resources and their environmental functions. In this slide, I have mentioned the questions for the first topic, that is the land resources and land use. So here the MCQs are mentioned, then the definitions for that particular topic, and some short questions I have given here. Okay, then in this slide I have mentioned the MCQs for the topic, that is the land degradation, then definitions of the topic land degradation, and these are the short questions for the land degradation topic. Thank you.